So hello, I am Dr. Evelyn Thrasher. I'm the Nicely Faculty Fellow for Leadership in the Center for Leadership Excellence here at Western Kentucky University. We are part of the Gordon Ford College of Business, and I just want to take a few minutes to introduce you to a topic called servant leadership. I am new in my leadership journey, not in the sense of being a leader. I've taken on several leadership roles in my various careers and in my lifetime, but in the formal study of leadership. And as I've learned about leadership and started to dig into the theories and the styles and the readings, servant leadership is something that's really resonated to me. Servant leadership has been studied and written about by a lot of people in the industry, but within the leadership discipline. But it's most closely credited to a gentleman by the name of Robert Greenleaf. And there's even a center for servant leadership in Atlanta, Georgia called the Greenleaf Center. So if you're interested in some more resources, you may want to look them up. That's how I got connected. I've just completed a course in servant leadership through them and have acquired several resources, lots of books, readings, things like that. So I would encourage you to do the same. I want to share with you very briefly a quote by Robert Greenleaf that I think summarizes servant leadership in a great way. And it says this: "The best test, though difficult to administer, is, do those served grow as persons? Do they, while being served, become healthier, wiser, free, more autonomous, more likely themselves to become servants? And what is the effect on the least privileged in society?" And his theory was simply that if we are taking care of those, the least of those, and truly serving those around us, those who follow us, those who can't give us something in return, then we are truly practicing servant leadership. And it's really just simply about the idea of putting others first, doing for the greater good, doing for the organization, even helping those who follow you to come to decisions that need to be made and empowering them to do so. So that in some ways you aren't necessarily seen as the leader, yet you've evolved as a natural leader, if that makes sense. So you're empowering. Empowering is a great term for servant leadership. You are helping those who follow you. You are helping those around you. So I want to briefly share with you some characteristics of servant leadership. These are calling. Do people believe that you're willing to make sacrifices for the greater good? So have you been called into a role as a servant or a servant leader? Awareness. Do others believe that you have a strong awareness for what's going on? Do they trust you? Trust is a big part of this because you aren't necessarily going to be that flamboyant leader, that take charge kind of person, but you're going to empower those who follow you to do so. It's about stewardship. It's about growth. It's about community building. And it really is sort of a selfless way to lead and a very engaging, fulfilling way to lead. But you're doing so by serving those who follow you as opposed to necessarily them serving you. And so, we can practice servant leadership in every realm. There is a place for it in the organizations. There's a place for it in healthcare. There's a place for it in academia. Clearly in nonprofit, we see it very clearly. And in, religious organizations and so forth, we see it very frequently. But it is becoming a true, very sought after leadership style in a lot of different organizations, including those who are for-profit organizations. We're seeing it a lot in the more technical fields, which is very interesting, but it makes perfect sense because the folks working in those industries are very knowledgeable. Those that you are leading know their job and they do it very, very well. And it's simply a way of empowering them, removing those barriers to their success, lifting them up to be successful workers and to be able to get the job done in the way that works best for your followers and for the organization. So it really is, simply put, just putting others first and leaving behind a healthier, better organization than you found. So I encourage you to look for resources on servant leadership. I encourage you to check out the Greenleaf Center for Servant Leadership, and also check out our website on Western Kentucky University's main page, where we'll be posting resources, reading materials, book recommendations, and lots of other things. So thank you for your time. Go out and practice servant leadership.